Nick. Nick. Grab one of those folding chairs and come here.
Here you go.
Come sit.
Come on, I don't have it pulled up yet.
Huh?
I don't have it pulled up.
Alright.
Alright.
There you are.
There I am. Sit up straight.
Sit up straight.
Anybody watching?
Not yet.
Okay.
You can go, if you want to go sign in and then come back.
Yeah.
That way somebody will be watching.
Should I tell Mr. Frank?
Well, what?
Step. This way you go.
We are live at MandoCon. Live on Twitch. I want to remind everybody to resubscribe or subscribe. And also to follow me on YouTube as well. We'll have everybody in this next hour or so to hang out and chat with. I am late because I had to finish a chapter to hit my 5,000 word goal for the day, which I did. I also totally forgot I had to do it until Nick had messaged me as well, to be honest with you. Window look. Okay, Nick. It is getting a little dark out there. There was a big storm coming through, I think. Hopefully we'll have a few people that aren't just here physically at MandoCon that will join the chat. But
You want me in or?
yeah, come sit and chat.
I just told Mr. Frank to jump up. He said he checked too.
Who?
Frank Edler.
A lot of people watch this after the fact too, which is nice on
okay.
YouTube. I look forward to that. What are you looking at?
I haven't been in this room yet. I don't know what you've changed. Oh, there's your German copy. Of,
Yeah, I don't think much has changed. It doesn't translate to I am Bigfoot though.
What does it translate to?
I don't remember.
Volle Drahong Bigfoot. Okay.
Something Bigfoot. Let me do that because you got me. Volley, not Volky. Volley, not Daniel Volpe. Dronung. Bigfoot. In English. Why isn't it?
Oh.
Translate to English. How about the fucking full drugging?
No.
Full drugging Bigfoot.
Okay. That sounds like something else. It sounds more like a date rapey
Yeah.
Bigfoot than
Full drugging Bigfoot.
a marijuana Bigfoot.
Full drugging Bigfoot.
That's, well, you can get different sales for that.
I mean, hi, I'm Bigfoot.
What is hello in German? It's
Dankeschön. No, that's
no, thank you. Bitte? No.
Autobahn.
Autobahn? Yeah. Volkswagen?
Yeah.
Farfignugan?
Farfignugan. Yeah,
So-
I don't know what's going on there. So how's the writing coming so far?
Good. I was out ahead and then lunch happened and trying
Yeah.
to catch back up.
What was your goal before lunch? Those 3 hours.
It was about 3,000. And
Yeah.
I was at 2,800, I think. Last I looked, I'm at about 3,400.
What's your goal? What's your writing goal for the day?
5,000.
5,000. So that should be. Yeah, I try to get as much in it in the morning as possible. Then I could kind of relax. And I knew I was going to have to do Twitch. I totally forgot.
Yeah.
I was like, I got to get this chapter done, and I finished the chapter, and then you're like, oh, did you see your message? No. And then when I just looked, I was like, oh, yeah, I got to get on Yeah, I'm an hour late, but who cares?
Anybody on? Hey, Mr. Frank.
I think you're on right now.
Is that room right there? No.
Yeah, but why isn't he over here?
I don't know.
That's weird. Welcome in, Frank, even though you're not even showing up in my chat. That's kind of odd.
Oh.
I don't know what the hell's going on.
So what did you work on today?
Me and Tom worked on Rising Tide.
Okay.
It is exhilarating. I don't know why your first couple of comments didn't even show up. We worked on chapters back and forth. We've each done a chapter, and I also worked on 2 chapters of Down and Dirty 3.
Okay.
So I ended up hitting my 5,000 words. Probably about half of it was just what me and Tom did. So.
Is there anything you think you'll complete this weekend?
No.
No.
No, we're. I don't know what you're even saying, Frank. I don't know what you're gonna have to. When you come in here, you're gonna have to. No, they. Yes, they do.
Do they? Oh,
no, they don't.
Oh.
You don't mind. I mean, yeah, we're not minding you because I can't read what the hell you're even typing.
Subersise?
Subisser say.
Is he having a stroke?
Yeah, I don't know.
Do we have to worry?
Should anybody go out there and check with Frank?
It means at his own table.
I don't know what's going on with that. Anyway, we're having a wonderful time. We had lunch. Mm-hmm. We sub-anniversary. I had a sub-anniversary to share, but when I don't even know what's going on.
No,
Yeah, your first 2 things didn't even show up in the chat. They show up. The people on YouTube will see them. So I don't know what's going on. But hopefully this next hour will be a lot of noise outside and not a lot of storm. Knock me off.
I mean, it is dark out there.
It's getting dark. I mean, you're hearing the thunder. There's some lightning. But who knows?
I was going to ask you about your. Do you have all the city books, the noir series?
No, I'm missing. There's 75 of them, I think,
geez.
And I'm missing like 20, I think, maybe.
Okay, so you have a ways to go.
Yeah, I buy them whenever I see them on sale, like thrift books.
Oh,
I
like
order
that.
like 5 or 6 because then I get free shipping if you spend X number of dollars whenever I see them pop up. But I usually wait like a month or 2, and then they'll get a new batch of them in.
A thrift?
Which is which is nice.
So you had Milwaukee. Does everybody have to be from the city to write for it, or do they just have to write about the city?
Yes. There's some that I've read that people are all from that city.
Okay.
Or are recognized from that city in the noir books. But then I think I read one where like people just wrote about the city. So I think it's like if there's authors there. There is no Jacksonville noir.
That's what I was looking for.
They don't have that. Every time I post one of those books, I mention them and I tag the publisher in it.
Yeah, which is weird. Milwaukee. I mean,
there's
what is terrain?
Huh?
Tehran noir.
Tehran.
Tehran. Okay.
Tehran in the Middle East.
Well,
Iran, Iraq. One of those.
Interesting.
Iran.
So far away.
So far away.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's like weird cities in that thing where you wouldn't think they would have something. And then there's other really big cities, and then they have a New York City one. Then they also have a Brooklyn one. They also have a Bronx one.
Oh, yeah.
So they have like
Long Island.
Maybe.
I mean, that's so weird.
Yeah, but then they only have like a New Jersey one.
What, not Hoboken?
So there's not like a Hoboken one or a Newark. I don't think there's a Newark. There might be a Newark. I don't know.
See, New Orleans.
The stack that's just piled up on the end on left, those are the ones that I've read already.
Oh, so you have a long ways to go.
So I still,
Oh, dear.
I have a 50 books up there to read, but I have other things I'm reading now. So
don't we all?
kind of thing. Yeah. So
Talking with the other people, everybody seems to write more in the morning. I was going to say when you said that.
yeah.
Seems to be a common.
I'm worried about tomorrow. So tomorrow, for those who don't know, we will have several people here for a writers group, a local writers group. Last year I went to them. This year they're coming to us. And so the morning will be shot as far as writing goes. And so what we're going to do is we're basically we'll only have like 1 o'clock to 5 o'clock or so to get some writing in tomorrow. So it's gonna be hard. Like I got a 5,000 word goal today, 3,000 tomorrow, and 5,000 Sunday. But 3,000 is gonna be hard. Oh, there's Tom Duffy. I mean, I can see him from here, but there's Tom Duffy. But it's gonna be hard to do 3,000 words after I've had to talk and after lunch, and it's just gonna be a lot.
Who's his icon?
Huh?
Who's the guy between his little? Is that Joe Lansdale?
No, that's the guy from the video
Forrest
that I was when I was on that interview. I don't know how much. I doubt this guy's. That's Mr. Frank found. I did an interview here local in Jacksonville, and this guy was also on like the panel.
Oh, is it the one in the bar?
Yeah. So that's the picture of Frank likes that guy. Yeah, Tom has a shirt. This guy's face on his shirt, which I think is all. You should have brought it. You're in Jacksonville. Maybe we would have run into him at Taco Bell or something. That would have been great.
Would it be worse if he was working at Taco Bell or in the drive-thru with us?
I forget what he does. He does something, and yeah, he has a job or something. So there you go. All right. So you got how many more words left to do?
1,700.
All right. We'll go out there and go get it done.
I'll get it done. Jeez.
Go
Who do you want?
Whoever you pick, just say your turn.
Well, Tom has fresh coffee, so.
Yeah, that'll work. Tom looks very excited to be coming in here next. Tom Duffy, step on down.
Who's online? Just Frank?
No, you, Frank, and Nick.
And Nick.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll get people who watch this afterwards. I'm also an hour late.
Yeah.
So there's also that.
Yeah, I didn't realize what time it was.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to finish our chapter.
Yeah.
And then I was like, Nick's like, oh, I sent you a message. Did you get it? I'm like, no. And I looked, I'm like, oh, he's asking, why aren't you on Twitch? So, I mean, he could have said to me, hey, remember Twitch, but he didn't do that either. So
Right.
which would have been nice. So you and I are doing very well back and forth with our chapters.
Yeah.
We got a couple of chapters in so far. What have you written? 2, 3?
I think we've each done 2 so far.
We've done 2.
I'm working on the 3rd, or I'm about to, and
Yep, we're definitely going to get another. Definitely going to get at least another 2 in, maybe more, which would be nice. We got about 4 hours or so to play with.
Yeah.
So we still got more time now than we've had this morning. So we should, in theory, get a couple more chapters each in, which would be great, and that'll give us to. We'll break. How many words? I think I ended at 33,836 words.
okay,
So you should hit 35.
around 35, right?
Right. So I should hit 36 and a half, something like that.
Right.
So this weekend we will definitely break 40.
Oh yeah,
Easily. And then we'll see how close we are to the 63,000 we need to.
Yeah, and we got a good start in on Wednesday too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, Wednesday, Tom came down a couple of days early, and we got some running. And we even got writing in yesterday, too, even though I had to pick a couple of people up at the airport and all that. So we're having a good week. We're catching up, which is very nice.
Yeah.
Nick Zinn wants to know who's the new person there. This is Tom Duffy. I don't know if you were listening. What's he drinking? He's drinking coffee, I believe.
Coffee. Yes.
Coffee. So.
Coffee or coffee or
coffee,
depending where you're from.
Coffee, as my mom says. Coffee. What kind of coffee? Oh, just hot coffee. And then it's got water in it with the coffee itself.
No flavored coffee. No, I already had a coconut today.
Did you like the coconut?
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, the coconut is good.
Yeah.
What are you drinking?
It's just a Dunkin' Donuts.
Dunkin' coffee.
Regular.
Yeah.
I did. I tried a hazelnut one, but the pod popped open.
Oh,
and
I hate
decided
that.
to throw that out. So I was like, I'm just doing dumb.
So you just wasted one, basically.
Yeah,
You just pissing my money away. Nice. Yeah, the coconut is good. Anytime my wife goes anywhere, she finds any kind of weird, different flavored coffee or any kind of specific coffee. She always buys it for me, which is funny because she doesn't drink coffee.
Yeah.
So I'm always getting some good coffee. So,
Yeah.
So you got to be close to your goal then with writing this and then writing
Yeah.
something else.
I'm over 3,000. This should get me within a few hundred words of the goal for today, and then I'll jump on the other thing and
Hit your 5.
hit the 5, and then
I hit my 5, but I don't want to stop.
right.
Like I don't want to be like, I'm going to play Minecraft for the next 4 hours now while everybody else is working. Like I don't have a specific goal in mind, but I would love to write a little bit on. I'm going to do one of my Patreon things. I'm going to write part of a chapter on this, but then I want to at least write 2 more for me and you today. I think that would be, or at least 1 more, but hopefully 2 more.
Yeah.
And I think that would be probably get me over 8,000 words or something like that, which would be nice.
Yeah, that'd be good. And then plus with tomorrow, if I only do 3,000, well, there'll be extra today.
Yeah.
That'll be done.
Yeah.
I want to try to get 15 overall,
Right.
but we'll see.
Yeah, my goal is 5, 3, and 5, but 15 would be nice. It would make up for tomorrow morning kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, we're good. We're doing good. We got a lot of people in the house. Everybody's spread out enough. You got enough room over there?
Yeah. It's good.
And then I just have to clean up that table later on for dinner. And since there's 10 of us total, which is nice, then we can all eat without having to open up the table or anything, which would be nice.
Or we'd have to put Nick at the kids' table.
Well, yeah, he'd have to go to the kids' table, obviously.
Right.
So, but it's all good. All good. All right.
All right.
Go get this next chapter done.
Okay.
So that when I'm done with Twitch, then I can jump on that and pull somebody else.
All right.
You should have your own table, Nick.
You're the closest person.
Who's coming down? Who's coming down? This is always exciting. Oh, you never know. You never know. Please.
How's it going?
Do you prefer Mike, Michael, Mikey?
Mike.
Mike
That's
Lee?
Good. Yeah.
Who's next? Nick, we're getting to that. This is Mike. He's new this year to us for MandoCon, but he's hung out. I've hung out with him many times when we've done the Chinese buffet lunch. So tell everybody what you have released and what you're working on today.
Released, actually, it's not released yet. It's signed, though. A cosmic horror. I have one that's in an anthology coming out next year, and then a full novel that's a follow-up to that.
Nice.
And I'm actually working on more stories in that world. Very surreal shorts going into a collection.
Very cool. So that's like your focus now is to work this world?
Yeah. Yeah, build that up. Yeah, it's been fun.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. He also, Michael Wiley, who was here last year, who hung out with us on Saturday and did live Twitch on that night, Saturday night last year. You actually were in one of his courses, right?
Yeah, actually. Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that. So I was writing fantasy at the time, and as one of his assignments, I switched over and wrote a science fiction piece and found that I liked that. So I started writing science fiction more and blending, and they got good reviews while I was in there, so I blended that with horror and cosmic horror.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I wound up here.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Mr. Frank says, we were talking about D&D with Mike earlier. Yes, a lot of us are D&D nerds. Nick Zinn says, wait, the Michael Wiley was there last year? Fancy, I believe you were also here. And Mr. Frank wants to know, do you incorporate RPG into your writing?
Yeah, actually, so the short that I'm doing now has to do with an MMO. So, and the surrealism of like bringing that to life when you become addicted to it, and there's a cosmic entity behind all that. But yeah, I do. When it's appropriate.
Right. Yeah, you don't want to just force it unless it actually has to do with the story or what you're actually doing.
Yeah, and there are a lot of terms and stuff that you have to use that a lot of people may not know, so you can alienate them.
We've had a lot of people over the years that have popped into the chat in Twitch that they do RPG stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're writing a lot of it. A lot of them are coming in. They're like writing fan fiction for a specific video game or a specific role-playing game and stuff like that.
That's cool.
Remember in the 80s when we said choice instead of nice? I think only you said that. I think you were the only one that said that. I said nice is what I would say. It's raining now here in Jacksonville, Florida.
I say cream. I'm trying to make that.
You trying to make that a thing?
Yeah. Cream.
Everybody out there watching, either watching live or watching later on YouTube, use that word.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we're gonna make that a thing. So how many words you got in so far today?
4,500.
Wow, so you are very close.
Yeah, trying to hit 7K.
Mr. Frank said cream. He wants to know if the word you said was cream.
Cream like premium.
Preem.
Yeah.
Mr. Frank, you could start saying cream.
Yeah, someone said something really cool, so cream.
Yeah, cream. Yeah, that works. Cash rules everything around me. 4,500. Yeah, Nick, he's not playing around. Yeah, preem, yes.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm supposed to be the second person to finish. Keep him there longer. And we're on our third hour with Mike Lee because Tom doesn't seem to be getting his shit together.
I had to, one of the other mics called me out because I was writing a little bit on break, like little sentences here and there.
Right.
So I had to slow down. This isn't even my final form.
Yeah. I mean, there's no rules like that.
Yeah, I know.
Stop being a stickler for rules, and also stop being so jealous. Jealousy's a curse.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fear is the mind killer.
Yeah. Envy is poison to your soul.
Yeah. Preem is tight. Remember the 90s when everyone said tight instead of preem? I do remember tight. I do remember tight for a little while there. Not long though. Not long.
Not too long.
Not too long. I also remember a really great song by Cheap Trick called She's Tight. Oh, he's going for 7K. Never mind. I'm still good. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. He's going to overshoot. So you're good. Tom, you got this.
Is that a challenge?
Yeah.
Are you challenging me, man?
I think he did. Dude, that's not preem. Dude, that ain't tight. And it's definitely not cream.
I mean, he could cream, but that would have nothing to do with it.
You had to stay away from that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you made it this year.
Thank you for inviting me.
I'm glad you and you seem to be enjoying the food and the snacks so far, which is always nice.
Okay.
My wife gets very, very nervous when somebody brand new comes in because she's like, are they going to like everything? Are they going to eat? Are they going to be shy and all that? So you dove right into some cookies, which was good.
Yeah, they were delicious.
Your tight preems are cream. There you go, Mr. Frank. You need to make that a thing.
That's a little long, but
yeah.
But we can workshop that.
Yeah. You can. We got all weekend to do that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for popping in. Go and kick Tom's ass now.
I definitely will.
Yeah.
All right, Tom. This cream.
And grab somebody else and tell them to come on in.
All right.
Oh, my bit rate is very good. My bit rate is in the green. Even with all of these, with all these people in the house using the Wi-Fi, we're still good. Who's coming in? Who can it be? Everybody knows Mike. Another Mike.
What's going on?
What's going on, man? How you doing today?
I'm doing great. Love to be here.
How's your writing so far today?
It's been a good session.
What are you writing?
I am writing a supernatural thriller, the next installment in the Dark Coast universe.
Nice. You're lagging hard on the user end. Well, that's not good at all. The problem is there's 10 people in this house that are currently all on their laptops, and we're all writing for MandoCon. So I apologize. I apologize for that, but I'm not sure what to do. I'm not going to tell everybody to stop working right now. So bear with us. So you got a couple of books out already.
Yes, 3 total. Last book just came out in May. A book I had started here last MandoCon last year. Bone Valley Vampires came out May. So excited about that. It's been a good release.
So what's your schedule looking for the thing you're doing now? Are you just starting a book? Are you in the middle of the book, ending the book?
Right. I'm working on the second chapter now. So I came into today already with about 2,000 or so words for the prologue.
Right.
So I've kind of already had some vibe or energy about the book going in.
Very cool. He said, "Hi, Mike. It's Matt."
Hey, Matt, what's going on?
I don't know who Matt is. Who the hell's Matt?
I invited one of my people to the chat.
Oh, your people. Nice. Yeah. Well, thank you for coming in, people, even though we're lagging. I apologize for that. After he's done talking, you got to stay on, though. I mean, that's just the right thing to do.
Yeah.
But I appreciate you popping in.
Thanks, Matt.
Yeah, thanks, Matt. I'll have to follow you. Let me click on your thing. I am now following you, Matt.
Do the same, Matt. You know what to do.
Another Mike, this will be hard to follow. Thank you, Nick, who's obviously not writing in the other room. He's obviously on here. It's good, Nick. Good. But we also have some weather problems here.
True.
In the Ocean Way area of Jacksonville. So that also might be part of the problem. Well, I hope you get a lot of words in this weekend.
Yes, ma'am.
And I hope, obviously, I hope you continue to come out and hang out with us every year and get more and more stuff. It's kind of like if you do NaNoWriMo and you're like, all right, I'm going to do this book. I got to work on this book or that book. Hopefully, every year will be, all right, this is when I'm going to start the next book in this series or whatever. So.
That's how it feels right now. I like being able to carry that energy. Whatever I
Yeah.
get done here, last year I left MandoCon and was able to carry the momentum that I started here and finish the last book. So I'm hoping to do the same this time around.
Yeah. Mr. Frank says, Hit Mike is nice and creamy in a non-dairy kind of way.
Good looking out, Frankie.
Good
taste.
Go. All right, you're out of here. Go grab somebody else. If it rains enough, do alligators show up on the doorstep like cats do? In the back. You'll see in the back. Who's next? Could it be another Michael? There's 40 of them in the house right now. We'll see how many more. Well, basically, this is gonna be like a 4-hour feed of Michaels and other people. Oh, we got another Michael. Oh no, this is I couldn't see you from that far away. Amanda Ward. You just go by Amanda Ward now. You don't go by like AC Ward anymore.
I thought it was the Amanda Ward.
The Amanda Ward. That's for other people to say. Who could be next, Nick, is exactly right.
Well, they said there were too many mics that it just got confusing.
It was Nick was the only one confused, to be honest, and that boy is easily confused.
Well, that tracks.
Mr. Frank says Shelley's awning is taking the rain like a champ. That's good to know. Once we get a little breeze, Frank, let me know when they pull it in, because it will automatically pull in, which is really exciting. All right, what are you working on?
I'm working on that same romance novel I have been working on for 2 months.
You don't sound excited for some reason.
No, it's actually going good today. Normally I have finished by the 2-month mark, and I've already exceeded the 2-month mark, so
why?
It's a little behind.
Life,
yeah.
Or just?
Well, it was kind of stupid to start it right before summer anyway.
Yeah.
I knew I wouldn't be as productive over the summer.
Yeah, you're normally, because you have your kid home, so you're normally...
I'm normally just editing over the summer is how I try to schedule it, but that didn't
makes sense.
work out this summer.
That doesn't look like a mic, but maybe I'm confused. Well, it is Mike. It is a mic, so you are confused. So do you hope to, where are you, and are you almost done with it?
I'm at 40,000.
I don't know how many words you're writing.
So usually they're between 60 and 70. So I'm about a little over halfway.
A little over half, yeah.
But I think I'll get a good chunk knocked out, but I don't think I'll get close to finishing.
Yeah. That's good though. You could get a big chunk out of it, at least, and then your daughter's going back to school at some point.
One more week.
One more week, and then you get back. Hopefully, you get back into your writing, and you'll knock this one off. Now you're only working on one thing at a time, though, right?
Yeah, I don't tend to jump around when I'm writing. I tend to only be able to write one thing at once.
Right.
at a time.
Do you already have an idea for what you're going to do next? Is going to be...
Yeah, I've already outlined a new series to try next, so I'll probably jump into one of those next.
Nice.
I'm actually more excited about it than the current book, which doesn't help, but I get that way sometimes.
Yeah, the new shiny object in front of you.
Right?
Yeah,
it's always shiny.
Yeah, until you start having to write the damn thing.
Right, and then I won't want to write it again.
No. Yeah. Then you're like, yeah, all right, I'm done. Yeah, this is good enough. Well, very good. Well, good. I'm glad you're here again.
Yeah, I always like this. Though, honestly, I think we work really well, just the two of us.
We do, yeah. So I'm glad you're in your spot, your normal spot in the dining room, so I can pop over and say something. Every month, usually every month, you come over one day.
Yeah.
And we get a good morning of writing in, and then we'll go to lunch.
Yeah.
And you'll try to have sex with me, and I'm like, just go home, and then everything is good. It all just works out. Tom tried to do that this weekend too. This week, so don't worry about it. It's not just you. But I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here another year, and
I always get a lot of words written here.
Yeah, I like it because I like it when everybody's just quiet, and all you just hear is like the little clicking of the keyboards. Everybody's just, you get your headphones on. Everybody's just kind of doing their thing.
Yeah, I like hearing or seeing everybody typing and kind of hearing it too.
Yeah.
It raises the competitive spirits.
Yeah. Well, for me, like when you come over once a month, it's like I usually get up first, but I'm usually like, all right, I've only written for like 15 minutes, and then normally I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go watch TV, or I'm gonna go get it. You know, I'm like, no, she's still working. Let me work as much as let me get as many words in as I can, and then take a break.
Well, we work very differently because you like the shorter sprints,
right?
Because that works really well for you.
Yeah.
But mine, that first half an hour almost drags, and then I start hitting a peak, and so it's just very different styles, which is fine.
Still works.
Finding what works for you is one of the struggles.
Frank says, the Amanda Ward, throw in the shade. As Frank says, hey Amanda, the awning is the only thing allowed to throw shade around here. Let that be a warning. Nick wants to know, did Amanda enjoy her lunch?
I did.
Very good.
It's really good. Shelley always does a good job.
Yeah,
though.
I mean, there's like enough food for 1,000 people, but still, it's all good. Very good. Well, I appreciate you coming, and I appreciate I'll appreciate when your kid is back in school and you can pop over and we can get some more writing in.
Yep, of course.
So, appreciate it. All right, go grab whoever's left.
All right.
And I appreciate it for those at home currently watching. See who else's turn it is. I mean, I never know. I'm just sitting here. I'm blind. I don't know who's coming in, who's leaving. I don't know what's going on. Could be literally anybody. Could just be walking in the door. I mean, this could be President Obama right now. I mean, it's not. The suspense is killing me too, Nick. Mr. Frank.
My fellow Americans.
Frank Edler.
I can't see what the hell's going on.
Could be Bigfoot. It could be Bigfoot as well.
I brought a bit.
You brought a bit.
I brought a bit. We're here at MandoCon 4. Lots of writing going on. Lots of camaraderie. Lots of shop talk. But the most important thing going on this weekend,
right,
is in this paper towel.
Yeah, you know what, you're right.
So I wanted to do a review.
Go ahead, review.
Because MandoCon,
this is like books, beers, and bullshit.
It's like books, beers, and bullshit. So in here I got a sampling of the cookies.
Nice.
That we're all eating here. I mean, we always hear about all the food.
Right.
I brought the food.
Brought the food with
So here's what we're going to do.
Go.
We're going to, you and me, just crack off a piece for yourself.
All
Taste
right.
testing.
This is the peanut butter
chip.
Peanut butter chocolate chip.
Yeah, no. Chocolate peanut butter chip.
Chocolate peanut butter chip.
Chocolate cookie with peanut butter chips inside.
Right.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
What you know? That's what I'm talking about.
It's an unwrapping, yeah, not an unboxing. There's no box.
Everything is an unboxing. I don't know if you've been on TikTok. You're not hip like Hick and Mike.
No.
You ain't preem. And yeah, I'm throwing shade. So, do we have any sorbet to clean the No sorbet.
Are we supposed to spit it out after?
Yeah. It's like the hot peppers we were talking about. That's what so this is blueberry lemon.
Blueberry lemon. I've not had one of those.
I had one of these last night. It was spectacular, but I'll play like I don't know.
I definitely taste the lemon in that. That's good. I like that.
And the blueberries, real blueberries, fresh, real blueberries.
Fresh blueberries.
That they just burst when you eat this cookie. It's phenomenal.
Good. This is a good cookie.
Now, I want to skip over this one. We'll go over the bottom cookie here. This is your classic cream chocolate chip.
Chocolate chip cookie.
This is like eggs, right? They always say like the true test of a master chef is how they cook an egg. Something so simple.
Right.
How good is something so simple as a chocolate chip
right.
cookie? Oh my gosh, still blueberries bursting in my mouth.
Yeah. That's still my favorite of all the cookies my wife makes. My wife did all the food, all the snacks.
It's everything you want out of a chocolate chip cookie. Right?
You want to go next page for Nick?
Next page, Nixon! Next page!
Whoa.
Did you hear that? Alright, I'll read a little bit. And then this is for me. This is my premise.
This is Frank gets every year, like Frank's like, oh, we're gonna have M&Ms, and I'm like, no M&Ms. And Shelly's like, Frank wanted M&Ms, we're getting M&Ms. And then Frank likes this cookie, so we got to make this cookie for Frank.
This is it. This is what I call the breakfast cookie because I wake up every day, make a cup of coffee, and eat oatmeal raisin cookies because there's oatmeal in it, so it must be for breakfast.
It's a breakfast
healthy,
cookie.
Very healthy. Do you do these? I don't know.
No, I like them.
Yeah, all right. So let's bust it off. I didn't want to make you like eat something that you're
not.
No,
I like them.
I find that people are very polar about these. Polar,
you're right. Yeah, you're right.
Love or hate thing. I already know I love you.
Yeah, that's a good cookie. So what would you say your favorite of the four is?
Man, I don't know. There's always my go-to breakfast cookie that I graze on all day long. There's the oatmeal raisin. Man, I gotta love that lemon blueberry.
Yeah.
It's very different from the other fare. The fresh blueberries, next level. And that chocolate peanut butter chip is it's like a Reese's cup in a cookie.
Yeah.
So it's really hard to pick best one. I don't know. I'm gonna go with lemon blueberry.
Yeah, and that's the new one this year. She's never made that. She never made that one before.
I hope to see the return.
Yeah.
Of the lemon blueberry.
So now we have something else that Frank's gonna want every year.
Yeah, we're gonna need that. Yeah, and I didn't get my chopsticks here.
No chopsticks. You are making me hungry for cookies now, Nick said. I may need to run to the local grocery store. Yeah, it's not that far, Nick, if you want to walk it. Or go to the kitchen. Either way.
It's a long ways away.
It's a long ways.
So, that was my bet. I hope I added something.
Yeah, you added
value.
something.
Value-added content.
Nobody else has. You wanted to throw that in the garbage can. Right?
And that one I was just going to throw in the garbage can.
Literally right
All right.
3 inches away from you. What are you working on?
Book.
Excellent.
So, what I'm working on is the same thing I was working on last year when I was here. Unfortunately. Mm-hmm. Because I got, I don't know, however far into that I got. And when I got back home, worked on it a little bit, but not all that much. And it kind of fell by the wayside for some other projects. And it's still sitting there. I'm hoping to finish it off this year. The giant bug kaiju book that I was working on last year. Still on it this year. I'm about 30,000 words into it now, which is, I got the last 7 or 8 chapters all outlined, ready to go. So I anticipate finishing that up this year.
Nice.
And having it ready for second drafts and all
that
that
would be great. How many words have you written so far today?
Today I'm at 3,300 words right now.
So you're pretty close.
Pretty close in striking distance. The next hour or so.
Yeah.
I'll hit the 5K mark that I said.
All right. Well, as usual, I'm glad you're here again.
Yeah, it's nice to be here.
And we will we'll do this again next year.
I'm looking out the window. I'm trying to get in all the things that I watch all the time. Yeah. Looking out the window. There's nobody running around.
Want to use the back scratcher? Look at this back scratcher she got now.
Oh yeah, you have an array.
Oh, look at that! It's even got that ball.
You can massage
your back.
Can I massage myself with your ball? No.
No, that's not gonna. That's not gonna happen.
You know what that massager is? It's Preem.
Preem. That thing is Preem.
It is Trey Preem.
Well, this interview also was Preem.
I don't know about that.
So thanks for popping in.
It was nice to be on this side of the camera for a few minutes.
Yeah, you just got to do your own Twitch. I think it would be
sooner or later.
Great.
Sooner or later, something's gonna happen.
Gotta hydrate.
Yeah. Oh.
Luckily, I have water in here.
Who's paying for these nonsense ones? Nick Zinn. Always wasting his
Of course, Nick's in.
On silly things.
On nonsense.
When we could be screaming next page, we could be.
Posture check too. That's a good one. That's also a good one.
How about a word band, Nick's in?
How about stop, Nick's in?
All right.
No. You're out of here.
I'm out of here. I'm thrown out.
Go grab somebody. We got
Is there anybody to tag in?
We got a couple more.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to send in. There's not many left, but I'm going to send in a mic.
Send in another mic.
That's always a good, easy one to send in.
There's anyone named Mike? Come on in.
I think I might be the last mic.
Yeah, I think our last Mike. You were here last year.
Yeah.
Riding with us. You were also here the year before, just invited for dinner.
As a ghost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Drove Jay Wilburn crazy that I had invited you and I didn't really know you.
Right. Yeah.
He thought you were gonna kill all of us.
I was glad I got to come to that one and meet him.
Yeah. Yeah, that was good.
He scared me.
He had that effect on people.
Yes, he did.
So you do a lot of stuff other than just writing a novel. You do a lot of artistic things.
I do. I've done a lot of different things. I think that's the big challenge in my life is I do too many things.
Yeah. So what is your thing? What if God came down right now? Right. And I don't know if he would come to Jacksonville, but let's just imagine God would come to Jacksonville, and he said you can only do one creative thing for the rest of your life, and that's it. What would be like that thing?
Well, I would probably stick with the writing.
Yeah.
The illustration takes a long time. Not that writing doesn't. I mean that. It's crazy. Writing's the newest creative outlet that I've taken, and I'm still, after 3 years of doing it full time, it still kind of floors me how long it takes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I know you do zines, you do other various.
Yeah, I've done DCAS, which is the Duval County Zine Fest.
I got these.
Yeah.
That I got from you.
Yeah.
When I saw you at the zine thing, these are from Michael's done these. It's basically just illustration and words, like a little comic type of thing.
I always wanted to do comics, and I figured I would take a drabble that I did and do a mini comic, and I call it a drabble zine. So,
yeah.
It was fun. It again, like I said, the illustration takes a lot longer. I tend to not do the simplified drawings that you see a lot in a lot of zines and comics. I kind of overdo it, and I guess I kind of overdo everything. That's why my novel that I started in 2008 isn't finished.
Yeah.
And the children's book I started a year and a half ago isn't finished, but that's almost done.
What are you working on today?
Today I'm working. I'm gonna finish one this weekend. Hopefully, is a novella, and it's kind of a weird mashup of different genres. It's a horror. It's kind of I wanted to do a werewolf story. I like the two little zines that you pulled out. One was a fantasy dragon kind of sword and sorcery type thing, and the other one was a zombie. So I'm trying to check off all the boxes,
right?
Because I'm old.
Right.
I'm gonna die one of these days.
You want to die knowing you did these specific.
I've got my Amazon authors page, check. I've got my IMDb page, check.
Yeah.
I've got these little zines that are kind of like comics, check.
Yeah, we're no longer 18 years old, and we can just write and do whatever we want and stay up all night and do it.
Yeah. So.
Well, hopefully you get it done. That'd be great.
Yeah, I'm hoping to have 3 books or 2 books, the big book done and the novella done this year and ready to query, and then the children's book. I know I've got about 200 illustrations for that at least. So it's a monumental.
Yeah.
Again, too complicated, but it's mostly done. I'm just writing the last few tiny little bits, and that should take about a week to finish it up if I put in the 8-9 hour days like I've been doing.
Right. And then stop adding more different things to your
Well, I've added everything that could possibly be added to this thing. I don't
I'm
know.
saying for outside stuff.
Yeah.
You get another idea and you get this and that. Like I'm only using my board, and if it's not up on this board, then I refuse to even add it to the list until something comes off that board.
Once I get these 3 books done, I'm going to try to focus a little bit more on like short stories and poetry that I write. So
right.
Things that don't take 14 years or a year or 2 years or whatever.
Right.
So
which is good, which makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. And then travel. I'm going to go to Ireland. We rented a cottage. My wife's at home actually doing her version of MandoCon. She calls it LinnyCon. She's finishing up her hopefully the edits on her book. It's her first book, or she's actually written another one, but I was supposed to illustrate it. That was 15 years ago.
Well, let her know that MandoCon is trademarked, and if she uses any derivative of that, I will sue her ass.
Well, it's LinnyCon.
Yeah, so that's too close. That's confusing.
It's 2 words.
That's confusing. That's way too close.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, thank you. Get back out there, get your thing done, and I guess what do you got? One more person out there?
I don't know who's left. I don't think anyone's left. Yeah. I think that was it.
Win.
Ah, Win.
Yep.
You're up.
What am I up to?
In here.
Oh, what's up?
You.
Win has no idea what's going on, so this will be a total surprise for all of us. It's raining a little harder now.
What's up, man?
Come sit in the guest seat.
Sweet.
We're live on Twitch.
Awesome. What's Twitch?
Oh, you're so old. This is Old Man Win, and I'm glad you made it.
Me too.
Getting some writing in. We've hung out several times over the last year.
Yeah.
We've done breakfast at the coffee shop once a month. You've come to the Chinese buffet a couple times with us, and so when you actually have some books out there, which is always nice to meet. It's always nice for me to meet a local author who actually, not that you have your shit together, none of us have our shit together, but at least you have some published things out there, and you ask questions and you're trying to learn as much as you can, which is always nice.
Well, I think that's the whole thing about you don't stop learning until you're dead. I think that's fairly true. So
yeah.
I'm still trying to learn how to do it better. And it all started when I got out of the Navy and realized that my identity wasn't what I did for a living, and I had to find something else that I could kind of focus on and say, this is something I'm proud of, and this is something that I love doing.
Which is great. So what are you working on today?
Right. Oh, today I'm working on the sequel to Soul Grifter. I'm working on Wrath Grifter, which is basically a guy taking a gun around that helps people meet their vengeance goals, and in exchange this demon takes over the rest of their life, and just gets to enjoy that.
Nice. Now, the one thing I definitely want to talk about is the anthology that you worked on.
Oh yeah.
Because there are some people watching will know some of the names too. So how did you get involved with that first off?
Well, I met Adam Messer, who runs Valhalla. I met him at conventions ages ago when I was out pushing my books. And he was a journalist for a local news outlet, and he always kind of had a dream of writing, and so I encouraged him, and we worked together on a couple of things, and then he started writing, and we started working on making Valhalla a real thing. He's a big fan of the anthologies, which, while I'm not as big a fan of that, because I have a hard time trying to push a book that is, I'm a one slice of a very big pie. On the other hand, you run into some amazing folks like Mr. Mayberry and Candace, and Bram Stoker's I don't know if you call him grandson, great grandson. Yeah. But yeah, run into some neat folks.
Yeah. It's a cool. What's the name of it so people can grab it?
Oh my gosh.
Here we go.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I cannot remember. I've done 2 or 3 or 4 of them. But
get it. It's got Jonathan Mayberry. It's got Candace Nola. It's got with some Dr. Stoker in it.
Yeah.
So it looks cool. I actually downloaded it onto my my Kindle, but I got 400 other books to read as well.
Yeah, it's a collection of vampire stories. I know for myself, when he was talking about doing it, I already had written a vampire novel, and so I was like, I got to find something different to do. So I wanted to write a story that was about a vampire who was not, not at the top of the power dynamic. So it's a vampire who's stranded on an island with somebody and needs to find somebody to help him get him off.
Right. So are you at this point, do you consider yourself a horror author, a science fiction author?
Well, the more fantasy I write, the more I realize that I'm more of a science fiction author. I think that my experience with science fiction helps logical answers to how the stories unfold come a lot easier. I'm struggling with the fantasy.
Yeah.
You?
Crime
right?
thrillers, yeah. But I was a horror author. I mean, I was straight horror author for 20 something years. I mean, I still write some horror, but again, it's, for me, this is a business, and I make more money with the crime thrillers, and I like writing the crime thriller stuff, and there's elements
what prompted
both.
you to write the first one, though? Because I mean, I don't really see myself just magically deciding to do a different genre unless it's already.
Well, I've written in a ton of genres, and basically just throw it up against the wall and see what sticks.
Gotcha.
And so while I say I'm a horror author, I also wrote supernatural. I wrote other thrillers. I wrote a few nonfiction books. I've written other stuff, but it just whatever the next idea was.
Gotcha.
And then when I started getting serious about this, 13 years ago, I went full time, and I said, well, I can't go full time by just sitting here and just writing whatever I want to write, regardless of whether it's going to sell or not. Like you can't scroll down and go, hey, I'm going to write westerns, or I'm going to write steampunk, or I'm going to write, that kind of thing. And I'd written fantasy stories before, and I'd written science fiction before, but those are worlds you have to create, and those are series things. And I didn't want to get involved in all that because I didn't know if I was going to enjoy it enough, and if I was going to have the time to do those and not do some of the other things that I wanted to do. So for me, it was kind of, when I wrote Dirty Deeds and I got the contract with Kindle Press, and I saw, hey, there's a huge market here for this, and I've always enjoyed reading them, and I enjoy writing these, and that's kind of that's the direction I've gone in the last, say, 4 years.
So it sounds like what you like to write isn't so much genre driven as it is just the stories, and you can kind of adopt whatever genre lets you write the stories.
Because I'm not really most of my horror that I've written is not supernatural. The stuff that I write that I enjoy for me, not for like a publisher, is more of people or monsters type of thing. So you can easily turn that and write it as a crime thriller. Dan Pettivone has made a career out of that now. He wrote horror books for years, serial killer horror books, and then by just tweaking the point of view of let's not worry about the killing and the blood and the gore and all that. Yeah. Let's worry about the psychological part of this. And then he calls them crime thrillers. But he's still writing the same books. Really, he's just kind of so I look at it that way. Of I don't want to get too deep into the gore and the blood and guts of this. I mean, there's going to be some that kind of stuff in there, but not the focus of the book. You learn the tropes for each genre as you're writing. I think, and that's you gotta learn it. But again, behind me I have how many shelves? 1, 2, 3 shelves of these are just writing aid books, basically, of either their stories or specific genre things. I mean, I got romance ones. Doesn't matter what the genre is. I want to learn. If you can learn from all of those.
Well, that's one of the things that I think I heard about that Nolan guy when he made Tenet, was that he wanted to make a movie where the main character didn't fit a lot of the tropes of the main character.
Right.
And unfortunately for me, I came away from that movie saying, well, the only character that was of any interest was the bad guy, because he seemed like the only one with emotions.
Yeah.
But I mean, at that point, he had enough success to where he's like, well, now I can experiment with my craft and see what new I can do with it.
Yeah. Yeah, it takes you a long time to write something, but once you get to the end, I initially hate everything I write. I think it's all awful. But then once I step back from that, and especially once I'm working on something else, I go, you know what, that wasn't that bad. And then people will say, oh, I read this or I read that, and I really liked it. And I was like, okay, I guess I'm doing all right. I guess I should keep doing this.
So I think one of the differences between me and you, from what I'm hearing, is that you apparently research these tropes in the different genres, and then you adapt to incorporate those tropes in what you write. Whereas I end up with the tropes kind of through osmosis. I'm a fan of science fiction. I'm a fan of some of the things that I am, and so I just naturally know those tropes and I write to them, as opposed to going out and trying to research and find tropes and answer
it's not even like that I'm researching them. Like you, I've read so much. And I've always read thrillers and crime thrillers and stuff, but I always wrote horror.
Yeah.
And so I have a lot of thriller stuff in my horror just because of the reading, and so it's not. I'm reading these, and I'll read like again a romance, help book just to see what they're doing. The genres I'm not really comfortable with. To sit down and write something, and it's not even because I want to write a romance. It's because I want to learn as much as possible. Because if I have a romantic part in a crime thriller or in a horror book or something, I want to at least kind of understand the trope of what that is. But sometimes you write stuff and you're like in your mind, oh, this is a science fiction book,
right?
And then I'll write a short story, and I'm like, the only thing is there was a mention of a spaceship.
Yeah.
Otherwise, this could be set in any time. It could be set in the, near future, whatever. And there's no real science fiction to this story. And you always worry, as a writer, that you're not going to know the tropes. You're not going to be as well read in something. And you're going to think, I got this brilliant idea, and you write it, and everybody's like, oh yeah, that's War of the Worlds. Oh yeah, that was done 150 years ago. That's what you always worry about. Not that there's going to be anything brand new. You're never going to write a new story. But your take on it, you want it to at least be fresh. And you want people to go, hey, this kind of reminds me of War of the Worlds. Not, hey, this guy just ripped off War of the Worlds.
Well, there seems like there's a really narrow margin between what you call cliche and what you call tropes. Yeah. Tropes are things that people gravitate towards, and cliches are the things that turn their stomach and make them throw your book.
You've seen 100 times.
Yeah.
Like zombies is a great. There are tropes obviously for that. You can play with it. You can do slow zombies, fast zombies. You can do how the virus spreads. Is it a virus? You can do all those, but you still got to write a zombie book.
Right.
Still got the reader, even if you don't use like The Walking Dead, you don't use the word zombie.
Right.
You still need to know what you're reading, that hey, this is a zombie book. Going into it, as a reader, I don't want to just pick up a book and go, I guess this is a zombie book. Like I want to know that I want to know what it is. I'll go through to buy a new book, and there are certain things with thrillers that will turn, oh, this is a political thriller, not interested.
Yeah.
This is a military thriller, not interested. For me personally, I don't read those. Or a trapped room thriller, not interested in that. But everything else I'll read. I'm reading a lot of Swedish crime thriller stuff, Nordic thrillers lately, and I love it.
Do they have different tropes that are kind of culturally based or something?
Well, there's just it's the weather is obviously is a character in those books, the sunlight or darkness because of the way it works. There's a couple of different holidays and things that you're always going to have in those stories. But I mean, basically, it's usually a police officer or a detective or somebody, and they're trying to solve a murder case or something. And it's just for me, it's interesting to read those.
What caught me about, I've been watching some British crime drama with my wife, and they just stroll in people's houses like it's nothing.
Yeah.
They take certain liberties that we just don't even think of.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny some of the stuff. Like my wife is huge with audiobooks, and there's a series like 18 books, and it's Irish. It's like set in Ireland, and the narrator does all the different
dialects
and stuff, and like some of the stuff that that she learns. So like we're watching shows, and then she'll be like, she'll say something. We'll be watching something. I'll be like, what are they talking about? She's like, oh, that means this. Like because she's listened to so many of
cultural references.
She understands the references and stuff, which I think is pretty neat. I'm actually writing a prequel to my Dying Day Zombie series of how it starts, and it's set in Sweden. So I had to figure out, what do they call the police? Do they carry weapons? What's this setup? Where, how cold is it? How much snow do they have? Trains, and you're doing all this research, not for the zombie trope, but for, I want to set this in Sweden, and I don't want them to say something that it's like, that's definitely an American. Oh yeah, so we sat down and we ate a box of Count Chocula cereal.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. So it's, you want it. Yeah, I have it where they're in a very tourist area.
Yeah.
So I can get away with some of that, but I still like to be able to give some of that in, I think, which is pretty neat.
When you were talking about the genres and that, it made me think of someone who was reviewing the first Alien movie versus the second Alien movie, and how they are different genre movies. Like one of them is sort of like a horror movie, and the other one's more like a military action movie.
Right.
And so for me, what I think is kind of cool about that is you're making a sequel, or I'm sorry, a prequel. Sequel, that's the word. And but it doesn't tread old ground, because you're making it a different kind of movie.
Right. Yeah, and I think that you have to have some familiarity, which you do in Alien and Aliens, because you have the alien.
Yeah.
Because you have I was going to say the time, but there's a big difference in time. But you're still in the future. You're still spaceship. You're still, all of those tropes are still being used. But I think I think it's definitely it's a horror movie, and then it's a military, thriller with some horror elements to it.
Now, when you talked about writing a prequel, one of the questions that popped into my head was, like, if there's room for a prequel, why doesn't somebody start writing the books?
Because when I started writing the Dying Day series, I didn't know how it had started.
Gotcha.
It doesn't start with Patient Zero. It starts with a woman who has to kill her father with the gun he gave to her as a present, because he's turned into a zombie. And then she is on the run and all that. And in the 9-book series, there are people who, because everything's collapsed, so I heard it started here.
Yeah.
I heard that it started. I heard it's because of this. I heard it's because of somebody ate a raw monkey. Somebody did that. Like all the different things. And so all throughout the series, I don't ever say it. And one of the things that I had said was, I heard it started somehow in Sweden. And that, for some reason, that one always stuck me. Now, I haven't written, it's been like 5 years since that series ended.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I have some, what if it had started in Sweden? And let me write a prequel to it. Let me write, we'll start it from there. And has nothing to do with any of the characters you're going to meet. It's years before all that happens, kind of thing. And now I also turned around, and I also wrote, and that's Patreon. So every month a new chapter of that goes on. And also I've just finished up on Patreon a book called Permafrost, and it's literally set 30 days after. So there's no zombies in it, but it's that same world, and it's a couple of the characters that are in the end of those books are now, they have kids, and it's 30 years later, and it's post-apocalyptic, and the world has collapsed, kind of thing. So for me, that was a lot of fun to still be set in that world, but so far apart in that world that you're not really going to meet all those characters and the things that happen. Like zombies aren't mentioned at all in Permafrost. It's basically when the world went to shit, kind of thing. We're not even talking about, because the zombies are no longer part of anything. So,
well, what I kind of get from what you're talking about with respect to the prequel is that there's a nucleus for starting the story, and stories have a tendency to start, what's the phrase, in media res, where you're kind of in the middle of something going on, but that writing this series has planted these seeds in your imagination of
right.
what could be the origin story, and then eventually you got enough of that together where you're excited to write.
If you're writing, say you're writing you're writing a serial killer, and you don't start the book with, and his alarm went off and he woke up and he brushed his teeth and he took a shower and then he went to work and he thought about killing people all day, and then that night he went and picked up a hooker and he cut her into 1,000,000 pieces. You start the book with, he finds a hooker and he cuts her into 1,000,000 pieces. You start with the action of the story, and you don't ever need any of that other stuff. But like I wrote when I wrote my book Toolshed, I wrote and I gave it to my one of my buddies, and I said, hey, let me know. It was like one of my first things I'd ever written, and it's a novella, it's a horror novella, and I gave it to him, and he read it, and he said, all right, so here, he gave it back to me. And I said, well, what are you doing? He says, here's your book. I said, but this is chapter 5. It starts in chapter 5. He says, yeah, those first 4 chapters don't mean anything.
Right.
It's just, you're adding up the first line to Toolshed is the cows had exploded. And that's like, you can go anywhere from that point, And I thought that was a great opening. I still think that's probably my favorite opening line I've ever written. And so it was like, you know what, you're right. And I was like, oh, okay, well, I'll do a rewrite. I'll incorporate some of that stuff from the first 4 chapters. I didn't need any of it. Because it was all backstory, and it was all, as a new writer, thinking that the readers were dumb and they needed to be,
So you found another way to incorporate some of that.
Most of it never even went back into, because it didn't matter that much. It didn't matter that much. It didn't matter that he was hanging out at his job when he got a call that his grandfather had died, and he had won he had gotten the farm or whatever. Like that's a line. That's not a chapter. That was a line of him telling his friend, hey, my grandfather passed away. You remember him? Come up and hang out at the farm with me.
Yeah.
That was literally all you needed, rather than 4 chapters, 5,000 words of extra gobbledygook.
So given what draws a writer of a writer prequel, would you say that it should not be read as the first book in a series, but you should read the actual first book, and you'll eventually get to the point where you're interested in the prequel?
I guess it depends on the series. So many people over the years have asked me how it started.
Gotcha.
I get in interviews, I get readers who will send me things and go, well, how did this start? And I was like, you tell me. You're the reader. You figure it out. My wife hates any book or any TV show or anything that doesn't give you an ending. Mm. She wants an ending. Whereas I like those endings, like The Rising by Brian Keene, where they run into the house and you hear gunshots. You don't know who's alive, who's dead at the end of that.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, you know what? That's great. Now, he wrote a sequel to it eventually, and you find out who's alive and who's dead. But for me, I was like, that's great. But my wife, that would drive her nuts. If we watch anything and they don't give you an exact ending for it, then she's.
Well, I kind of lean towards her on that. I like an ending, but I don't mind an ending that looks like it's open for more things to happen, because I think that's generally how life works. Is that you close a chapter and there's room for the next chapter to happen.
Yeah. Oh yeah, spoiler alert. Sorry, Tom. For everybody out there in Tom Duffy, spoiler alert. If you haven't read The Rising yet. If you haven't read The Rising, that's 20 years old. You probably are never going to read it. So whatever. Spoiler alert. All right, when you got to get back to work.
Yeah,
I'm going to get back to work.
Yep.
It's fun having you here all weekend.
Yeah, man. Thanks.
Having a good time.
Oh, I'm having a blast.
Yep. Go grab some cookies.
Thanks, man.
There we go. There's our live Twitch. Meet everybody hanging out, all the mics and the other people. So I appreciate everybody thing. Oh, chapter is done. So I got to get back to work. Thank you also, everybody, to subscribe or resubscribe, and also follow me on YouTube as well. I appreciate it. Everybody popping in and out.